The gloves are off, and the drama between Selena and Sogucci has spiraled into a feud so explosive it's leaving fans reeling. What's the real story behind their ongoing war of words? And how is JJ Williams, Selena's ex and Sogucci's husband, fueling the fire? From accusations of jealousy to shocking revelations of manipulation, this saga is heating up like never before, and the latest bombshells will leave you stunned. Stick around, hit subscribe, and let's dive into this wild saga. Let's rewind to the root of the tension. Selena and JJ share a long history, intertwined by their children and a past that's far from forgotten. As co-parents, they've had their ups and downs, but for years they managed to coexist, until Sogucci entered the picture. Sogucci didn't just become JJ's new wife, she became a dominant presence in his life, bringing her assertive personality to the forefront. Her rise in JJ's world created a natural friction with Selena, whose connection to JJ runs deep. For some, it's easy to see why sparks started to fly, but for others, there's a lingering question: was this inevitable, or was someone pulling the strings? The drama reached a boiling point when JJ started bringing Selena and Sogucci into shared social spaces. Whether it was intentional or not, this move created a breeding ground for tension. Reports suggest that Selena began making pointed comments about Sogucci's relationship with JJ, questioning its depth and authenticity. Sogucci, never one to back down, responded with biting remarks of her own. What began as subtle jabs quickly escalated into full-blown confrontations, with both women airing their grievances publicly. Social media posts, interviews, and even heated exchanges during events painted a picture of two women locked in an emotional battle. But the root of their feud seems far more complicated than surface-level hostility. According to sources close to the situation, Selena has accused Sogucci of overstepping her bounds, undermining her role as the mother of JJ's children, and manipulating situations to make co-parenting harder. One of Selena's most shocking claims centers on an incident where JJ, at Sogucci's urging, allegedly failed to pick up their children, leaving Selena frantic and fearing the worst. These accusations have fueled the narrative that Sogucci is deliberately making Selena's life more difficult. On the flip side, Sogucci sees things very differently. She has repeatedly accused Selena of being stuck in the past, unable to move on from her relationship with JJ. To Sogucci, Selena's focus on their shared history is less about co-parenting and more about maintaining a connection to JJ. In interviews, Sogucci has said that Selena's actions often come off as bitter and territorial, framing her behavior as an attempt to sabotage her marriage to JJ. Her supporters argue that Sogucci has every right to assert her role as JJ's wife, and that Selena's resistance to letting go is the real issue. The most explosive moment in this saga came during a public event where Selena and Sogucci had a heated confrontation. Witnesses say Selena accused Sogucci of disrespecting her in front of others, while Sogucci fired back, claiming Selena was intentionally trying to create drama. The exchange left onlookers stunned, but it also reignited a question that has been lingering in the background. What role does JJ play in all of this? For many fans, JJ's silence speaks volumes. His unwillingness to set clear boundaries between Selena and Sogucci has left people wondering if he's secretly enjoying the chaos. While JJ has tried to maintain a neutral stance, his actions, or lack thereof, have only added fuel to the fire. In recent interviews, JJ admitted that the ongoing tension has complicated his life, but stopped short of taking responsibility for his role in the feud. He hinted that both women are partly to blame for escalating the situation, but avoided addressing how his behavior may have contributed. JJ's most revealing comments came when he suggested that the feud might not be entirely about him. He implied that deeper, unresolved issues between Selena and Sogucci could be driving their hostility, though he didn't elaborate on what those issues might be. This cryptic statement has led to rampant speculation, with fans theorizing about everything from old insecurities to personal vendettas. Some believe JJ's remarks are an attempt to deflect blame, while others see them as a genuine acknowledgement of a conflict that extends beyond his relationships. Despite JJ's attempts to downplay his role, many fans remain unconvinced. Critics argue that his reluctance to take a firm stance has allowed the feud to escalate unchecked. They point to instances where JJ has seemingly played both sides, refusing to address Selena's grievances while failing to defend Sogucci against accusations of manipulation. This behavior has led to accusations that JJ thrives on the attention the drama brings, intentionally or not. The feud has polarized fans into distinct camps. Supporters of Selena argue that she has every right to feel disrespected, given her history with JJ and her role as the mother of his children. They believe Sogucci should show more respect for Selena's position in JJ's life, and that JJ's lack of of boundaries has only made things worse. On the other hand, Soguchi's defenders view Selena as unable to move on, accusing her of clinging to a past that no longer exists. They argue that Soguchi is simply trying to build a future with JJ, and that Selena's actions come off as desperate attempts to maintain control. Then there's JJ himself, whose actions have left fans deeply divided. Some see him as a peacekeeper caught in the crossfire, struggling to balance the demands of his past and present relationships. Others believe he's the true villain of the story, using the tension between Selena and Soguchi to keep the spotlight on himself. A smaller group of fans think JJ is simply overwhelmed, unsure of how to navigate the complex dynamics of blended families and old wounds. Adding to the complexity is the question of whether reconciliation is even possible. For peace to be achieved, both Selena and Soguchi would need to put aside their differences and work towards mutual understanding. This would likely require Selena to feel acknowledged for her role in JJ's life, and Soguchi to reconsider how her actions impact Selena's sense of respect and inclusion. But with tensions running so high, such a resolution feels increasingly unlikely without a strong mediator, and that mediator would have to be JJ. JJ's next moves could determine the trajectory of this entire situation. If he continues to stay on the sidelines, the feud is likely to escalate, leaving both women feeling unsupported and unheard. However, if JJ steps up and takes an active role in addressing the issues, he could help mend fences and bring some much-needed stability to their lives. This would mean setting clear boundaries, fostering open communication, and perhaps even seeking professional help to navigate the complicated dynamics at play. But whether JJ is willing to take on that responsibility remains to be seen. His recent comments suggest a man who is still grappling with the weight of his past decisions and their consequences. While he may not have intended for things to spiral out of control, his actions or inactions have undeniably played a role in shaping the current state of affairs. So what do you think? Is JJ the mastermind behind the madness? Or are Selena and Soguchi's strong personalities to blame for the conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest updates on this jaw-dropping story. The next chapter promises to be even more explosive.